You really don't need a $5,000 camera setup to shoot high quality videos like this. I'm literally using an iPhone, a tripod, and a ring light in my bedroom. But it didn't always look this clean. Let me tell you how I got here. When I first started, I used to believe I needed everything. A DSLR camera, some expensive softboxes, some RGB lights, and some expensive gears or fog machine to feel like I'm shooting for a Netflix documentary. But the truth is, I was dreaming. I didn't have the money, but if I did, I don't know how to use half of the gear. I was more focused on the equipment than on learning the basics. At that time, I was recording with my phone and trying to make the best out of it. The videos looked okay, but nothing close to what I wanted. They lacked that cinematic feel I was chasing on YouTube tutorials. So I made a decision. I watched hundreds of videos like $5,000 cinema cameras versus iPhone. After a lot of research, I saved up and bought an iPhone 15 Pro Max. I thought, this is it. My videos are about to look like movies now. I placed my iPhone on tripod and hit record, and guess what? The footage looked flat, dull, and lifeless. That was the moment it hit me. It's not really about the camera. It's not really about the brand or how much it costs. It's about the lighting, it's about the composition, it's about how you set up the scene. From that point on, I stopped focusing on equipment and started studying lights. I realized that light is everything in a video. Even if you have the best camera in the world, bad lighting can ruin your footage. So let me break down how I actually shoot my videos using just a smartphone. First, camera setup. I shoot everything with my iPhone 15 Pro Max, but any decent phone with good rear camera will work. Make sure your lens is clean and use the rear camera, not the selfie cam. Always record in 1080p or 4K and never zoom digitally. Never. Just move closer if you need to. Let's talk about the tripod. It doesn't have to be expensive. Sometimes I used $10 tripod just to have my phone steady and still, to framing myself perfectly. What actually matters is keeping your camera stable and framing your face properly. Third, the most important part is the lighting setup. Right now, I'm using only one ring light placed at 45-degree angle from my side at my eye level. That actually creates soft shadows, adds some depth, and highlight your features naturally. Most people think they actually need expensive gears, some soft boxes, some RGB lights, and full studio setup to shoot cinematic videos. But honestly, you can create a good cinematic look using just one light source. The key is actually understanding how light behaves, its softness, its direction, and intensity. Now let's move on to the framing and background. I always place my phone at eye level and use the rule of thirds to position myself slightly off center. I leave some space between background and myself to add some depth. And I add small elements like practical lights, books, and some showpiece differentiate my background, but make sure it's clean. Before I hit record, I always check these three things. 1. Is my lens clean? Is the light soft and well placed? And do I look I got at least 4 hours of sleep? If those things are all set, I hit record. So if you are trying to make great or good videos, remember this. You don't need expensive gear. You don't need a giant studio. And you definitely don't need to wait until you can afford a perfect setup. All you really need is a decent phone camera, basic knowledge of lighting, and the will to actually press record and show up consistently. The most cinematic thing about your video is your intention. Once you learn how to control your light, frame your shot, tell your story clearly, your videos will look 10 times better. And they will connect with people more than any fancy camera ever could. If you found this video helpful, comment down below, and also comment down if you want to know how I edit my videos from start to finish. And now go shoot your next video. Trust me, you don't need any expensive gear or any expensive camera. Until next time, bye bye.